So I'm going to talk about the codes and conventions of horror movie posters, horror movie magazines, horror movie trailers, the 360 advertisement, and the iconography of the horror genre. I will also be talking about my initial ideas, and my target audience for my horror movie. Firstly, we'll start off with the posters, and the codes and conventions of this is they normally have an image, and that normally takes up 3/4 of the page. And it also seems quite empty. The picture is sort of really the only sort of main part of the poster. Everything else, there's like a few taglines, one or two taglines at most, and then there's like a little bit at the bottom which will tell you when it's coming out, who produced it, and the target market. But apart from that, there's nothing really there. It's quite empty and alone, which creates the sort of intimidating side and fear towards the audience, and sort of gives the feel of horror of being alone and darkness in the woods. There's also the three colours, which are red, black and white. They're the three colours that follow from posters, magazines and horror movie trailers, and also the iconography. From the magazines I've looked at, there's sometimes a hidden message. On the Sinister movie poster, the blood that is being trailed behind by the little girl is like a little face in there, and it's just sort of spooks out the audience a little bit. Next we go on to the magazines, and again this follows the three colours red, white and black, and also follows the conventions of a normal magazine. It has all the issue details, the masthead, the cell lines and the issue number. The thing that's different about it is, again, it's a little bit empty, which is following the horror genre, so it's nothing bad, it's just following the genre. Also, the font is key in the magazine, so the font will either be pointed at the end or have drips off it like blood, so it will be pointed like a knife or drips like blood, and it will tend to normally be red if it's dripping. Now onto the trailer. I analysed 5 trailers, and they all included dark lighting, and the majority of them all had big bold text that just bounces up into your face, which tends to be something to scare or spook the viewers of the trailer. The music tends to rise towards the end of the trailer, and then there will be one big shock, or that shock may be suspended and it will lower music, then it will come. It will genuinely be a scream, something jumping out, or something really big happening. And there's also, when you see the models in the posters, the magazine and trailer, they all seem to have no emotion if they're sort of the paranormal part of the poster, magazine or trailer. So that's what I found out. And also the setting tends to be an abandoned place, or it tends to be overgrown. So an overgrown city, an abandoned house, etc. And sometimes there's little messages, say like a little note or a little photograph, something like that. The 360 degree marketing, I done Piranha 3 Double D for this, and for their 360 degree marketing they had a mobile game and a soundtrack. Others have done soundtracks, mobile games, and also have re-released the DVD again 5 years later to sort of promote it a little bit more, or they've done a remake of it. But there's loads and loads of ways they've done this. There's also social marketing, which will hit different types of age groups. So mobile games may hit the younger audience, and then social network may hit the younger to a little bit older audience, say parents up to 30-year-olds. And then again there's the soundtrack, which you may hear on the radio, which will hit the even older audience, say maybe into your 50s. And the iconography is always the red, white and black. That's one main iconography. There's also the phallic weapons, which tend to be the knives, the swords, the axes, the chainsaws. And the writing, that's the main key thing in horror, is the writing and the way it's presented. So the writing and the font chosen. So the sizes of writing, the sizes of each different letter, one may be small, one may be big, could be pointed, could be dripping with blood, and again it tends to be red or white writing. So that's what I've got for my iconography masks, and there's also more about my iconography on my little tabs up there. Initial ideas. At the moment I'm thinking of a night setting near a mental asylum, with somebody going in alone and being spooked out by being around near a mental asylum out at night. It's also very overgrown there, it's all boarded up and it's overgrown, but you can see writing on the inside, so maybe I could get some close-ups of that just to spook out the audience. So they're my initial ideas, and it will follow all the conventions of darkness, sound effects to spook them out, And finally, my target audience. I'm hoping my target audience be 18 and above, but I'm not too sure really. Not right now, I'm not too sure, but 18 and above is my target audience that I want to go for, so I may be going for that audience when I go for my audience research. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next blog.